Sometimes people want to study Tai Chi with me, or they're thinking about it, and they'll say to me something like, well, you know, what would I get from Tai Chi, or why should I do it? And I usually say to them, can you tell me something that you want more or less of in your life? And I've yet to be stumped yet by a person who tells me they want more or less of something in their life that I don't feel Tai Chi can help them do. For me, I just felt so in my head. I felt so out of touch with my body. I felt like my hands were like empty gloves compared to how they feel now. So much of my life was intellectual and kind of from the neck up. And when I started to study Tai Chi and connect through my nervous system out into my body and let my feeling awareness fill my whole body, it really was amazing. You know, we talk a lot about energy in Tai Chi and energy circulation, and there's different opinions about that. I mean, some people really like to manipulate and direct energy along specific pathways in the body. And even when they're doing their Tai Chi, it's very, very meticulous about exactly where you're directing your physical force as well as your internal felt energy sense. Personally, I really like what I would call a non-directive approach to that energy management. So rather than directing traffic in a kind of exacting way, I tend to focus on highway maintenance, bridge repair, opening up the structures so that the lanes are wider, there's more passing room. And I tend to direct my energy in a little more gentle way, like when we were doing the crane exercise. Expand. And then shrink, close. You know, simple things like move this aside, push. You know, simple, basic directing of energy. But I try not to direct it in too forceful a way. I think that my body knows more about energy than I do, and more than systems do, and teachers who lived hundreds of years ago. I think my body actually knows more about that than anybody else. So what I try to do is just open up those meridians, open up the channels, open up my joints and muscles, and let the energy kind of do its own thing. And the end result to me is that I just have more energy. I have more of a sense of vitality, more of a sense of fullness and wholeness in my body. I don't feel immune to physical problems. I don't feel immune to disease and to sickness and difficulty at all. But I do feel that I'm better able to deal with them. I feel like I'm more resilient. I feel like I have more energy to meet them with. In my creative life, I'm a musician and a singer-songwriter. It's helped me listen and tune into my inspirations in a different way. It's made me much more responsive physically to the world around me. I can think of just millions of ways that this has saved my life physically that have nothing to do with fighting, that just have to do with sensing something going on that I don't want to be a part of and leaving the room. Or it has to do with maneuvering my bicycle around someone who's just texting while they're driving or whatever. And there's all these things going on around us that are challenging physically, and I've been able to keep my balance with many of them from having this responsive, neutral, open kind of state that I call Tai Chi being not too far from me. I don't claim to be in this state 24/7. I get knocked off balance just like everybody else does. But I'm closer to it from this practice. I'm closer to that, so I can listen better, I can use less force. That mantra that I repeat a lot in my life, that flow more, force less, it starts to just become an instinct. You're just looking for the path of, in a sense, least resistance. It doesn't mean the easiest thing. It means the thing that you feel like doing from the inside out, where you're not pushing a wall, you're not pushing a rock up a hill. You're doing the job that you don't have to force yourself to go to. You're hanging out with people you don't have to force yourself to be with, or the partner that you don't have to force yourself to hang out with. It's about doing what comes naturally and easily from the inside out.